The value of money to me is like every day a new dollar. You had that dollar, as I put on another website, now you got a new dollar today. Who worries about, as Nas says, only a fool trips on who is following them? The crazy thing is, I always say I'm a military child, but literally, nobody understands the value of what actually is known and unknown. For not every family posts or even boasts about being a military child, one, but even two, from what I've been through per se, they never will either. Potentially, but either way, if you have a learning curve and you understand the value of quote unquote secrecy and just blending in, literally your best white boy, or as we call joints in this case, will literally be potentially your worst or best friend, because literally they just blend in any situation. They just be that totally tubular dude. And literally, how can I say it like this? I always say a hard head make a soul fast, yeah, but literally, it's not always the hard head, but literally, what's hard in your head will make you a soul fast, because literally, if it ain't plugging through, what does that tell you? Either you're not listening correctly, or literally, you're devaluing a situation, which is even a bigger magnitude, of which is not even necessarily a magnitude, because literally only the person who's running that race can actually see the end of it. But only you as an individual can either play the turtle or the hare. But we already did that story, so I'll give you something a little different. I still have videos I haven't posted yet, but literally, why am I giving you a new video today? Because literally, I had no choice but to trip on a situation in which people thought that I knew what I didn't know. But what I do know is that the value of a military child, you should only use one name and one name only. No aliases, no nicknames, none of that. Because literally, the value of that is like you have a whole different lifestyle ahead of you if you choose to use any of those that I mentioned, except for your one original name, which is on your birth certificate. Depending on location and literally if you actually trust the people around you who actually potentially do or don't have money. Why? How can I say like this? When your money's long enough, you just have a brand new life. You don't even have to actually disclose your name, because literally those who have the money could locate you for who you are. So as Lil Wayne said in Gorilla Zoe's video, or even if he did make a video, I don't even know, because I didn't even look up that song no more, because I was listening to it for a different reason. And it was called Lost. When you're lost, if they need you, they'll find you, really. But if they don't need you, if you're a military child, what does that mean? FRS, facial recognition systems. They won't find you. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, you went by so many different names, and you choose the choice of not understanding the value of evolution. And literally, if you don't hone in that one thing, I'll give you another movie, College Road Trip. What did Raven Simone see at the end? It was all a game. But really, when you enter that other world of where colors matter, like I said, I choose burgundy, but my burgundy's for Harvard. You could choose another law if you want, but literally, that other law, they'll give you the Bible, and literally, if you're God-fearing, they'll remove it from you and give you a life of hell, in which basically you have to reveal yourself in every single angle. And literally, every time that you think you're clear, they be like, nope, next angle, nope, next angle, nope, next angle. So everybody's like, I played the pendulum, yes, but you have to establish what's in front of you and what's behind you in order to move forward, just because of the fact that I won't say I was the fool, but those who were around me thought I was a fool. So therefore, I can go back and forth if I choose to, but literally, I choose to go backwards, because literally, I like to see where people end up in life. Not saying that I could have had their life or they made better decisions than me or anything of that nature, but literally, my Eagles Lane High School in McDonough, Georgia, class of '03 is a one of one. And I guarantee you, if you look for that yearbook, if I didn't tell you or if I didn't post a video, we going to say hi to you. But we just going to say hi to you in a different manner. It's saying, don't look me up because you don't know me. Unless I post something pertaining to that, don't look up or even buy our yearbook. Because literally, we are that one of one special class. Because literally, everybody who's been in my class has established himself beyond in which you can either fathom more so. But literally, what's the choice of being silent? Knowing who your friends are or who you're not your friends are. But literally, we choose to have a different value of life of silence and praise just because literally everybody pretty much has a offspring created somewhere. Whether they're a supervisor, whether an employee, whether they're even a family man, or even political or judicial. Because judicial is not necessarily saying political, because judicial actually has to be impartial to political. So therefore, how do you isolate the issue at hand? I had one girl posted on my page for the longest, maybe over, several years. I'll give it that. Half a decade. Even maybe a decade. Either way, it doesn't even matter because literally, I understood the value of a true friend, and literally, she posted on my page, I guess. You can look it up, but literally, I don't know if you're going to find a profile. But either way, she posted, I guess. I don't know what she guessed about, but literally, you're not defining what you're actually trying to state, one. But two, I'm actually in the city, and did you say hi or bye? No, but I have to be a grown man because literally, you're confused about what your situation is. So I had another friend who also graduated with me. He had several trips and had a good life. He had a Nike shoebox full of money. And I asked him, I hope you have your lock ready for that box. Because literally, if you had a G before that, it's a whole different lifestyle when you actually start to accrue money, especially in the South. People in the South actually are legally licensed to carry, but yet still, I don't boast that. And I choose not to because literally, it's not for everybody if you're not on that angle of actually where you're trying to present yourself in certain areas. You see what I'm saying? So literally, long story short, you either value the situation for what it is, or you could choose to actually go the other way and make an ass of yourself, which literally end up like this and with shackles on, which means locked up. In my terms, everybody has their own notion of what they try to do, sniffing. Because when I was in New York, I started, quote unquote, not sniffing, but when I go like that, that means that basically I'm trying to see who you are. And literally, I smell that you smelling me more so. So I'll give you an instance here. I'm in a train station and literally these guys just pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, man, what the fuck wrong with this nigga? Like, calm your little happy ass down. Don't take this wrong. I'm 37 years old. I look young, but imagine when I'm actually not in the situation that I'm in, I'm able to better take care of myself in where I have the utensils and facilities and the last thing would be edible food to an extent to where I can actually grow and become even stronger than what I am now. But literally, he got mad and just threw up some shit that he wasn't supposed to throw up. You see what I'm saying? But literally, you a dumbass because one, you in the train station, and two, you dress like a professional. So what you saying for yourself when you actually are quote unquote trying to go to work? You gotta explain that to your employer depending on where you go, because literally, you don't even know who the fuck you fucking with. I told you I was a military child, but literally, people read records but don't understand the value of what the military does with those particular records. If it makes sense to you, why are we moving all over the damn country for purposes that literally don't concern you? Because literally we are potentially exposed to things that you're not supposed to be exposed to. And if we are exposed to them, we relocate and move somewhere else. Especially if we're not affiliated with that shit. So, do I denounce anybody? Nah, they already know who the fuck they is. But either way, I'm not actually going to post, quote unquote, for kids below the age of XYZ. Because literally, they listen to rap music anyway. They just don't tell their parents. Why? They have an anonymity, or how can I give you a better word? The invincibility of basically using anybody's phone they choose to and just look up a music video and literally it won't necessarily age clarify, but if they steal somebody's phone, they still get to do what they want because literally one person will say and try to use me as a cop out, but literally you can't even follow me on this one because if you were to, you're asking to open up Pandora's box. But what is Pandora's box? A whole lot of catalogs of music. But literally, if you understand how much I valued music, I always had some type of, how can I say, resource in which I can always fall back on. So what you think you stealing from me? Everything's already IP locked. So actually, you screwing yourself and everybody who you with if you do try to steal my shit, just because of the fact that literally you have no excuse for stealing my shit, one. And then two, what you saying for yourself? You rather me be homeless, or basically, how can I say like this? You rather for me to be your quote unquote slave and actually try to pull my estate in what magnitude? In my name? But yet still you're buying my contract, right? So why would not the judge be pissed at you and look at you like you stupid? But the best thing about it is, where am I from? You'll never actually know. I could say I'm from New York, but literally, I could be whatever the fuck I want to be. I'm in the U.S. I'm from the U.S. of A. You've asked me where I'm born? My hospital don't even exist no more, my nigga, so you really won't even know. I'm going to make you pull my social if you have to, but literally, there's one blessing behind that. Certain social security numbers are already lit up. So when you start digging and diving in what you think you know, unless you got the money to back that shit up, or you want to be a cop out and do it for somebody else, guess what you doing? You still showing ties, because literally everything damn near is on what? Camera. So, you call me snitching? No. But I heard the conversation that I heard when somebody was trying to aim some shit at me that they really wasn't ready for. But at the same time period, I'll tell you like this, my guy. I didn't move, one. But two, you set yourself up, because when you logging in and stealing shit from stores, I'll just tell you like this, you a dumbass, because literally it's already connected to the internet. Hello. So what does that tell you? The IP address is already registered, and 9 times out of 10, you're not opening that computer again or even doing anything with it. Even if you were trying to sell it, wherever you try to sell it, you still got to log in, and literally they're going to log on to the internet to make sure that it works. Duh. So long story short, when that IP gets flagged, guess what comes coming? Whoop. But y'all think that's banging. Nah, that's the sign of the police. The old school, if you that old. But literally, I don't think you understand the value of that, because literally, you giving me the credibility of being a snitch or anything of that nature doesn't do you no good. And because literally, I didn't move, one, but two, you put a conversation over me that literally I shouldn't even have heard, because it should have just been, how can I say, you and God, if you want to call it that. But literally, if you were smarter, what would you do? You actually go to a what? A pawn shop and literally ask him, hey, how can I get technology out of you? Or how can I help dispense, quote unquote, not dispense per se, because it's all a city thing. How can I advertise you in the magnitude of stating that literally I could help you, but I don't want you to burn me in the end? And either way, when I mean burn, you can take that on every notion, hood, credibility, whatever you want to say. But literally, even when you have ashes, they all go to dust. But what's the one thing value that comes with dust? We call it blow, but we also call it fingerprints as well, because you are tied to DNA regardless, even when it goes to dust. So either way, how can you beat it? I may not have a phone. I don't give a shit about that. That's minute. But literally, if you stay homeless for a year in the city and your child mother won't even see you, something is right, but something is wrong, because literally, she potentially has that old school album called Trill. But when you do your research on Bun B, I'll tell you like this. He's eating and you don't even see it, because literally, y'all about to listen to that track, Pushing.